Hi, this video is for small businesses and mid-sized businesses that are interested in using AI for their employees to enable that employees to use a chatbot against private data that you want to preserve as private data and also follow access privileges that those employees would have. For example, if they're accessing HR records, only the people that would view those HR records would access them. Or if they're looking at engineering information, only the engineers that are supposed to see it would see that data. Now, this solution is very affordable. AI is very powerful and in a way very affordable, and I'll explain how. First, the source of data. The publicly available data on the internet has been reviewed by all the big large language models like Google's Gemini, Meta, which created Llama, OpenAI created ChatGPT. And those are available to your employees. And these are really neat tools. If you want to look at historical data, maybe if you want to see the history of a particular industry, these do a terrific job. But let's say you're asking the publicly available chatbot some specific questions that involve a company's private information. Let me show you an example. Let's say I wanted to see the bill material for the iPhone, which is owned by Apple. Now, Apple would not want their specific bill material information that shows how that iPhone is, in essence, created, the parts that go to create that iPhone. It's likely very private. Now, Gemini did do a nice job of creating a nice overview of bills of material and kind of taking a stab at how Apple probably put together their bill of material, but it's not precise. If you had an employee asking about product information for your company, you'd want them to have precise data. You'd want them to access your private data that's probably in a product lifecycle management system that you have. It's some type of information that's stored in one of your systems that only people that can access that system and have the privileges to access the information can see. This system would still respect all those access privileges, but you would marry that with publicly available data that does a nice job of getting really good overviews of a particular topic, and then specific engineering data, like in this example. The second example is, let's say I wanted to know the customer list for a particular company. And let's say NVIDIA. Hey, I'd like to know all of NVIDIA's customers in the state of Colorado. And again, Gemini gives it the college try to give me good information and give me a good response. It does a nice job of summarizing, the types of businesses that NVIDIA sells to and so forth, but it doesn't give me precise data. Now let's switch back to your business. Let's say one of your employees wanted to know who are our customers in the state of Colorado or in a particular industry and so forth and so on. Well, that's information that if that employee has the privilege to see that data, you'd want to provide it to them. Maybe they're working on a proposal, they're trying to win another deal for your business to grow your business. That's great. But you wouldn't want your competitors to access that information. And we can hold that data private and enable employees that have the privilege to see that data when they're accessing a chatbot like this Gemini chatbot to view that data. How's it done? How's this magic happen? Well, let me explain that to you. The magic that makes this work is Retrieval-Augmented Generation, and the acronym is RAG. And what RAG does is it introduces access to your private data. Your private data could live in a PLM system, could be in an ERP system, could be in an engineering system, it could be in an HR system. Obviously, you have systems that help you administer and run your business. And those systems have access privilege. And we can, in essence, align with the security model of those systems. And RAG would therefore respect the fact that, let's say, somebody who didn't have the privilege to look at employee data, they wouldn't be able to do that. You'll only be granted, or you'll only view data that you're supposed to. But RAG is the way that we combine private business data, secured private business data with large language models that are publicly available. And that combination enables your employees to, in essence, do their jobs faster, have better insight into the business, be able to respond to customers quicker, employees internally can make decisions faster. All that means that you're lowering your cost of operating. You're increasing your velocity as a business. Overall, you're making yourself stronger because you have the data already. It's in your systems. RAG just enables you to get that data in front of the right people at the right time for them to operate your business successfully. What's the cost of RAG? It's really affordable. I've worked with clients a couple $1,000 and you have an operable chatbot and you're off to the races providing a solution to a very common question or maybe a set of questions. You can really set your chatbots to be able to access data in a secured manner and really provide great business value. I encourage you to look into RAG and see how you can take on some business use cases that are going to lower your cost and overall make you a better run business. Thanks for watching.